My wonderful bead member, she also has a company called Nativearth, and they make beautiful leather accessories, mostly boots from old times, right? You do a lot of Renaissance fairs.
Right. We started out, we've been in business 21 years, and we started out making sandals. And our goal was to have a shoe that was comfortable and wrapped your foot. That design is from the 4th century BC, and these now they're all modernized and made beautifully.
I know they used to actually rent in the store. My store is very big, and right next to it they had a small store there. And I know people came from Hawaii and all over the place to have their shoes that they bought from you resold. They would fly over here just to come and have you guys fix their shoes. It's pretty remarkable.
It is. We also make a 2-button boot. This is a great shoe for every day, for hiking. The sandals, I forgot to tell you, can be worn in the river. They're great.
You can?
Oh, yeah, you can wear them right in the water. And then what I usually do is when I come out, because they get sandy, I just squirt them with a water bottle just to get the sand off, get in my car, let them dry on my feet, and by the time I get home, they're perfect to my foot.
Now, there was a picture up there with Leanne and Jim right here. These are your kids, right? And you guys are a family?
Yes. My daughter Leanne, my son-in-law Jim. Jim has 45 years in the shoe business. That's a picture right now of our staff at our shop.
And they're the ones that all make the shoes and run the place.
We just moved from a 2,400 square foot building. We bought our own building. We now have 9,000 square feet. It is the best thing that we ever did. We have a lot of space.
Yeah, you could see how big your factory is. It's huge.
Yes, yes.
And everything's handmade. It's incredible.
Everything
I was
handmade.
so impressed when I went in there.
This is a shoe that is called the 49er boot. And the pattern comes from a boot that was found in a local mine in Mariposa. And that old shoe, it had been just stuck in this mine shaft. Somebody brought it out and brought it to our factory to see if we could identify how old it was. And Jim took a picture of it and decided Mariposa had to have a 49er boot.
That is so funny because my 4th interview is the 49er Club.
So, and then I want to just talk a little bit about this. This is a boot that is in progress.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I did the beadwork. The woman who this boot is for is into healing, and she wanted a healing hand. And so I had to design and develop that piece of beadwork for the shoe. When we do a I just lost my train of thought. When we do a custom boot, we start out taking the order from the person. We draw their foot, and then all of the measurements are on there, and we develop. We have what colors the person wants. Then the pattern is developed, and all of the pieces of this boot are hand cut.
Yeah, so some of you that have a funny foot where one foot's bigger than the other, you can have it custom made exactly to your foot.
And it's like wearing a glove. I mean, they are so comfortable.
It costs a little more than buying it off the shelf, but it's worth it. There's a picture of a beautiful boot that I picked the colors out and designed it, if you could find it in there. And I'm wearing them. I have to show you guys. Look at this boot. Man. Isn't it beautiful? But I absolutely love it. When I wear them, I'll get followed around. People asking me where I got them. There it is. Those are my boots.
There they are, right there.
Nice.
So, and as I say, this one is in progress. We do these by stages. And so now these are ready to have the sole put on. So I grabbed this out of there today and said, you have to wait one more day before you can put the sole on, because I'm taking that boot.
I love the colors.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
It really came out nice.
And they last forever.
Leather is just like your skin. If you treat it right, I mean, it will last 25 years. They'll get out of this boot at minimum. We have to resole because they wear the soles out if they're wearing them every day. But you can use hand cream, you can use olive oil, you can use anything that you would put on your skin.
Oh, okay.
You can use to treat your leather.
So I need
now,
to do mine.
those are pictures of handbags that we do. When we're cutting shoes, there's a certain amount of the hides that is not suitable for shoes, and so then we cut those into leather bags. So we have a whole line of bags. We have telephone bags. We have little pouches, all kinds of different kinds of bags.
I know that you've actually made shoes for Disney for a TV show.
We did.
What was that?
Now I'm going to forget the name.
Wizard of...
No. Let's see. Anyway, we got a call from the designer at Disney, and they were doing filming for a show that was being filmed in Australia. And the thing when you're doing movie boots is timing. And so she called, she needed the first boot in 7 days. And that means then you have to also send them to Australia. And so it was, I mean, we put a big rush on it. We got the first pair of boots, and they need that first pair so they can do photographs for what the film is going to be. So we got those out, and then we had like 6 weeks, and we did, for the main actor, we did 6 pair of boots.
I heard he really liked them.
He did. He wrote us and said it was the best job he had ever had because his feet were always comfortable. And Legend of the Seeker was the movie.
Was it, Legend of the Seeker.
And then we've also done for other movies as well.
I know Japan really likes your shoes.
Yes.
They buy a lot
Well,
of your boots.
one couple came specifically to come to our factory. And they got here, and Leanne said, well, when are you going to Yosemite? Oh, no. We just came to get our shoes.
Oh, gosh. That's a compliment.
We just came to get your shoes. We don't care to see any scenery. They weren't even going to stop in San Francisco. I mean, it was just incredible that's all they wanted. They had come specifically to get our shoes.
That makes it really fun. There's this picture coming up is one of their booths that they do at the Renaissance fairs.
And we sell all over the country. We have a group of people who open shows and sell for us and close shows. And there's some of those. And
they dress up. They get to dress up really cool. Look at, and wear the shoes and the hat. That's pretty fun.
We're right now doing a show in Southern California. And it is one of the oldest fairs in the country. I believe it's 53 years old.
Wow.
Yes. And then another big one that we do is Texas. And the Texas Renaissance Fair is like the Disney World of Renaissance. I mean, it's huge. I don't know how many acres, but it took me 3 days to walk around that show.
I know you guys have your own structure and everything. And
yes.
You come and
yes.
You have
we
to
own
pay
our own
for your
booth.
Pay for your building.
Yes, we have 2 booths we own in Texas, one in Austin and one in out of Houston. And then we have one in Wisconsin. We do a show in Pennsylvania. We don't have a booth there, but we set up a tent. And all of these shows, they try to make it just as original as possible to what it was in those times. And it's 15th and 16th century is when it is. And they talk the Queen's English. I mean, they have to be...
Everything's supposed to be handmade. And
yes,
for that
schooled in the era so that they can talk the language. And so it's really, really interesting. Really interesting. We have a booth in Colorado, one in Kansas City, one in Arizona.
Isn't it hard being on the road all the time, though?
Well, I'm not on the road, not anymore. My job really was in the factory, and I love what I do, and I do what I love. And it got to the point now, because I'm getting a little older.
You're 81 years young.
Right. Soon to be 82, Sue. But it got to the point where wrestling those hides was just too much for me. I used to do all the cutting of the shoes, the
I know
boots,
you
everything,
the buttons.
everything. And there isn't any part of making a shoe that I don't know and don't understand. So even now, because mostly now my job is just the bookkeeping part, they'll come to me from the factory end of it and say, what do you think about this? Can we do this? Or what should we do with this? And so I'm still able to be involved in that part of the shoemaking.
And then
So-
you do all the counting, too. You do all the book
I
work.
do all the book work.
And that's such a different
Well, and
stream there.
it's so much better now in the new building because I have my own private office. I can shut myself off. I've cut my job in half because where we were before, we had Jim, Leanne, me, and somebody else behind us, and the kitchen. So everybody would come to eat lunch. There were so many distractions.
Now, if somebody wants to come and see your place,
Absolutely. We're open every day, 8 to 4:30. We're
not Saturday and Sunday. You're
not Saturday and Sunday.
just Monday through
But
Friday.
Saturday and Sunday, we will do by appointment. If somebody is only going to be in the area either one of those 2 days, we will take appointments and come and meet them if they specifically want a boot or some form that they need to have their foot fitted. We do a lot of custom work for people who have problem feet, diabetics, because they can't get shoes that if they're not perfectly fit to them and it causes any kind of rubbing or anything like that, they can get infections and
Wow.
lose their foot. So those kind of things are very critical. We've made a lot of shoes for people who are in wheelchairs.
So you don't just do the Renaissance shoes. You'll custom make any kind of shoe? Or?
Right, and our shoes are for everyday wear. Everyday wear. We have a complete line of lady slippers, which I didn't show you, and this is only one of the shoes.
Yeah, I got to fit that shoe. I was one of the people they called in to test them out.
Well, and that's another thing about making shoes. When you want to develop a new pattern like this particular one, we do a wear test. I mean, and what you're doing is you're trying to find the average so that the shoe will fit most people without it being custom. And so then we have guys and the women in the factory with different size feet, and then we'll let them wear test a shoe for weeks sometimes, and then work out all the bugs. So it's not an easy process making shoes.
No,
And we're proud of the fact that we're one of the few companies that are still making shoes in the U.S. of A. And
That's
we are
made
the
right here.
only company in the Sierra Nevadas that are making shoes.
Wow. So how can people get a hold of you?
We have a website. We have
Tell them the website. I think there's a picture there. We can flash it. That's the website.
www.nativeearth.com. And our telephone number, 209-966-5568. And you just would love coming to the factory. We give tours. Anybody can come in, and we'll take them through and show them how shoes are made.
They're awesome. I was so impressed when I went in the factory. So thank you very much for coming on the show. And please, after the commercial break, stay tuned to hear about the 49er Club.